Online tutors, let me show you exactly how to sell group tutoring packages so that you can scale your online tutoring business to 6 figures. A while back, I recorded a training with a member of my team role-playing the sales formula and script that I've given to thousands of teachers, showing them how to quit the classroom, transition into full-time online tutors and scale to 6 figures selling premium group tutoring packages. So in this video that you're about to see, it's a role play video from a couple of years back that I recorded with a team member walking you through the exact sales framework so you can escape teaching one-on-one, charging low hourly rates, and you know exactly what it looks like to sell premium group packages online. So let's jump in. I'm going to show you the video and the role play from a couple of years ago. Let's go. Elliot and Rob here. What we decided to do is to just do a quick recording for you guys on how to deliver the sales pitch. Okay, so one of the things that we noticed is if you want to grow your teaching business or you want to convert more of the leads into students, the big stumbling block for most people is the sales part. So, and what tends to happen when you try and master the sales is you try and remember the script that we give you word for word. Okay, so here's the thing with sales. When it comes to scripts, there is no script, right? There's frameworks, but it's always good in the beginning to just have down what the ideal script would look like, but no call ever goes the ideal way you want it to go, right? Because you're using the prospect's information that they've told you to tailor everything to them. So whilst you'll have wrote this out, and it's definitely advised to practice it, when you actually get on a call, you do not need to read it word for word. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to run through with Rob, with me being you, the teacher, Rob, the parent. We'll call him Mr. Smith, not Mrs. Smith. And Rob's going to be Mr. Smith, and I'm going to run through from the transition part. So this is the part after your discovery where you've learned about the student and you've decided at this point if you can help them or if you can't. If you can't, obviously you're going to end the call there and you're going to set them up with some resources or whatever. But if you've decided you can help them, you're going to follow our process where we show you how to create a transition, the offer where you reveal all of your pillars and you walk the students through the process to get results that they're looking for, talking about our learning trifecta, and then you go through your deliverables as well. Okay, and then you present the investment, the pitch, and the close. Okay, so there's a lot in this, and you can see there's absolutely zero chance I'm going to get this word for word. Okay, like there's absolutely zero chance. I'm not even going to try. So if you're going through the script, trying to match up which bit am I talking about, you're probably not going to see that. But what you're going to notice is you're going to see that I use the same framework. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to remind them of the gap. I'm going to give a high level promise. I'm going to ask permission if they'd like to see how I can help. I'm going to get them to write down my offer. I'm going to walk through the learning trifecta. So you'll just see a lot of similarities in there. And this is where we want you guys to get to. So you can see it's just a framework. This would, if it all came off perfectly, saying this word for word would work wonders, but it's never going to happen like that. Okay, so we'll just get to it. I just wanted to point that out. It's not going to be word for word. I'm just going to use the framework that we've got here to help you guys build some confidence and practice this as well. Okay. All right. So, Rob, shall we go for it, dude?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sweet. Well, let's do it. So, well, look, Mr. Smith, we've been through a lot here, and I really appreciate your honesty with me and everything you've let me know about Jimmy's learning. So, do you feel that there's anything that we haven't talked about that I should know?
No, I think we've covered pretty much everything.
Okay, cool. Got it. Because what I'm hearing you say is that Jimmy's goal is to get into a top university in the US. Right. But right now he's having a lot of issues with the math part of his SAT. And therefore it's making him feel a bit overwhelmed. He's anxious about his tests. And you're just worried that if you don't do something right now, he's going to miss this chance that he might not ever get back again in his life to be able to cement a great SAT score that you know he's capable of and then go ahead and get into a top university. Is that kind of what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's about right.
Got it. Well, look, this is something I feel like I can definitely help with, because that's what we do. Okay, here at Top SAT Tutors, we specialize in helping students really improve their math score in their SAT paper. And we've literally been able to help students go from struggling, hating it, anxious about the tests to locking in a 1500 score in just 12 weeks. So if you'd like, I could walk you through what that would look like for Jimmy as well, if you're open to it. But you let me know what would be the best next steps for you?
Yeah, that would be great if you could walk me through. I can help.
Well, I did ask you at the start of the call, you had a pen and paper and you came well prepared. So now's the time.
Yep.
Cool. So going to get you to get everything down here on a piece of paper so we can build a master plan. And the reason why I do this as well is because everything's customized, right? This isn't just going to be like a cookie cutter approach. This is literally what's going to help Jimmy. And therefore, it's not something I can just send you in an email afterwards, which is why I'm going to get you to get it down here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So let's write on the top of the paper, roadmap to 1500. And what I'd like you to do, I'm going to get you to draw a triangle on the left-hand side of your page, like that. Okay. Now I want you to number the triangle, 1 at the top, 2 at the bottom left, 3 at the bottom right. Okay.
Okay.
Next to the 1 at the top, you're going to write strategy.
Yeah.
Number 2 at the bottom left, I want you to write mindset. And number 3, environment. You got that down?
Yeah. Got it.
Okay. So literally after working with hundreds of students, Mr. Smith, what I've seen is a lot of teachers out there and a lot of schools are good. They give a lot of good strategy, right? I.e. how to revise the content, how to prepare for their exams. However, strategy alone is really useless because how many YouTube videos are there out there that Jimmy could be loading up, studying and mastering all the strategy, right? Like there's countless information, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen tons of them.
Cool. So what most coaches are is they just focus on this. And as you just said, there's an abundance of information. So what I've built is what I call the learning trifecta. And there's really kind of 3 elements here. One is definitely the strategy. Okay, just like a good sports team, you can't go out with a wrong strategy and beat someone who's also good, right? You've got to come out with the right game plan. So we definitely need that. But where most students slip up is they don't have the winning mindset to want to be the best student and actually study when they know they should be studying, but they're off doing something else. And also facilitate an actual learning environment that helps push them. Okay, so even when they don't want to, so even when you said to me, Jimmy was feeling overwhelmed and anxious, and therefore he hasn't gone into school on a lot of days because he was just so stressed out, or he's up late and then he's tired the next morning. He's just really lacking a winning environment. Okay, so we're going to talk about all of these things. Are you with me?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, makes sense.
So let's dive into the strategy first. So when we get started, so when Jimmy comes in and we start working together, here's what we're literally going to do first. So if we write strategy, and then underneath strategy, just write on your piece of paper, foundations. So one of the things that you said to me earlier on that kind of really, I wrote it down because it really kind of struck something with me, and I hear this a lot from a lot of students. You said that Jimmy was, like just completely overwhelmed and didn't know where to study, right? Like he's got a ton of content that he's being taught at school. You had the teacher as well that you were working with one-on-one for a little bit. And he just had so much information and he just didn't know where to turn his focus. And as a result, stressed, overwhelmed, and, that he's not even opening up his books to learn anymore because he doesn't know where to begin, right? The real reason this is happening is because Jimmy just lacks a baseline. So if we don't have a baseline, it's kind of like this. It's like, hey, if I got a puncture in my bike, right, and I'm just trying to, like keep going and I don't actually locate the puncture, can't fix the tire, right? And therefore, I'm not going to go very far on my bike. So it's the same with Jimmy in his math work. So we've really got to identify first what Jimmy's strengths are, because if he's got strengths, we need to strengthen his weaknesses. It's no point just keep working on what he's already good at because that's easy for him. He needs a challenge, right? So we've got to repair those punctures, so to speak, if you're with me here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So literally the first thing we'll do with Jimmy is we'll go through a baseline test. And the whole goal of this is to really identify where he's starting from, establish a baseline. So now we can build an effective content and study plan to help him master everything. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. How do you think this would help? If we were to really kind of identify those strengths and weaknesses, and then be able to really kind of just strengthen those areas so that he had like a nice, strong approach, would that make him feel more confident?
Yeah, I think that'd be really good for him. He likes doing what he's good at, but getting him to have a look at anything that he's struggling with, that's, I think, one of his biggest downfalls. So I think that'd be a really good place to start with him.
Yeah,
definitely.
Cool. How else do you think it would help?
Well, like you said, if you could put together an effective study plan to improve those areas, bring those weaknesses up, yeah, I can't see anything wrong with that.
Cool. All right, great. So you're happy with what we've got so far?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, so number 2 in our strategy is study skills. So one of the things I just mentioned a second ago as well, again, this stuck out. You said Jimmy's sometimes up till like 12 a.m. at night, right? Like studying. And, it is normal for some students to do that. because of course, there's so much content out there. But how do you think Jimmy's now waking up and going to school every single morning if he's up till 12 a.m. at night? Is that really going to help him?
I think so. He's generally pretty tired in the mornings.
Yeah. So, and then of course that affects his energy. It's affecting like how he's feeling as a person as well. And that's why he's not enjoying the subjects at school. Okay. So we need him to be in a good mental space too. So when the exams do come around, he's feeling good. And the reason why this normally happens is students just tend to study harder, not smarter. So this is why we create the baseline plan first. Because once we've got that, we'll work on a few different study skills for Jimmy so that he knows exactly which content to study, what to revise, and just some strategies around that as well. So therefore, he's going to be able to probably do it in like 60 minutes a night. Okay. Instead of like spending hours sat at his desk slaving away. What this will mean is, like you're probably going to see a happier Jimmy around the house as well, which I know you said you wanted. And he's not going to have to wake up tired every morning going into school. Okay. So the second thing we really need to focus on here for Jimmy is study skills. And we're going to put a plan in place to do that. Would this be good, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a lot of benefits to that. If he's making the most of those 60 minutes and not staying up late, he's going to be getting up earlier. Yeah, I think that sounds good. Be interested to know more about it. But
yeah, absolutely. We can go through that in a bit. So one thing that's really important to me here is we're not just helping Jimmy with his studies, we are helping you as a family as well. So even if we were to really kind of help him study smarter, would this affect family time at home, do you think, as well? Would it impact that and have a positive effect there?
Yeah, I mean, I think anything we can do to help Jimmy feel more happier, less stressed out is going to have an effect, knock-on effect on the whole family. Yeah. Definitely.
Love it, man. Love it. And that was just what you were wanting as well, right? So that's
Absolutely.
Great. And there's really one last thing. So if we've helped Jimmy identify his strengths and weaknesses, we've now got a study plan in place. Then the last thing is, you said on one of his mock tests that he didn't finish it in time, right? And that's because he just lacks the exam preparation skills. So if you write exam prep, and when I say exam prep, I don't mean, hey, just going through past papers and preparing and getting ready for the exams. There's something specific that we need to focus on here. And in Jimmy's case, it's speed, right? Because if he didn't finish the test paper last time, of course he's going to drop marks because he hasn't got the time to go back through and double check his answers to consolidate. Has he made the right decision? Has he answered it correctly? So what's really key here is that we help train Jimmy to be able to tackle the exams with speed, right? And that way, when it comes to his finals in the summer, if Jimmy can approach his exams with speed, he's going to finish a lot quicker. And therefore, he can relax. He can go back and check every single one of his test paper answers. And then he's going to be able to leave the exam room confident, knowing that he's given the best possible answers that he could. And he's not going to drop easy marks and make silly mistakes. Is this important, do you think, in Jimmy's case, given that he didn't finish his past paper?
Yeah, well, definitely don't want him to be dropping easy marks. And I think, he said if he had more time in the exam, he thought he would have done better. But if we can help him move through it quicker, yeah, it's got to be beneficial.
Cool. So in terms of strategy, like this is what I feel is going to make the best and most sense for Jimmy based on what you've said when we come and work together. How do you feel about it? Just so we're in alignment here on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 makes perfect sense. We love it. If Jimmy was to have help in all three of these areas, he's going to be set up for success. Or 1, like it stinks.
I definitely wouldn't say it stinks. I would say it's got to be up there, like probably 8, 9. It's pretty good. It seems to make a lot of sense. It's build the foundations, build up his strengths, make him with the study skills, get him ready for the exams.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, 8 or 9 is pretty high, man. Like Mr. Smith, why not a 2?
It seems to make logical sense. I think you've kind of put a lot of thought into this. It seems like it's a process that would help him.
All right, great. Cool. So we've gone through the strategy. And as I mentioned, this alone, Jimmy can practice how to take exam. I'm sure there's some information out there. So it is important that we have this in place. But quite honestly, Mr. Smith, if we don't have what I'm about to share with you just now, he's going to fail anyway. And these 2 extra elements, building a winning mindset and getting Jimmy into a winning environment, are really going to probably be the difference between Jimmy getting that top 10% SAT score, getting 1,500, getting into Columbia, or, like him having to fight it out with all the other students and potentially not even going to university because he doesn't get the choice that he wants. Okay. So what I'm about to share is really important. So guys, quick interrupt. I hope you're enjoying the video, but I wanted to make sure you picked up your copy of Teaching on Your Own Terms. It's my best-selling book and it shares with you the exact 5 steps what I've used with over 2,000 teachers at this point, helping them build their dream online teaching businesses. It went to bestseller in 7 categories. It's been featured by NASDAQ in Times Square, New York City. And I know you're going to love it. Inside of the book, you're going to learn things like how to position yourself as the go-to tutor in the marketplace and the offer that you can create to get your ideal students reaching out and how to communicate that. I'll share with you what I've seen as the best advertising strategies to get in front of new students and parents who want what you've got, how to sell your services, and everything you actually need to include in an online group tutoring business to make sure your students crush it and get great results. There's some free gifts and bonuses in there. I think in the first couple of pages, there's a link. You can go and grab some free gifts on me. But I know you're going to love it. Teaching on your own terms. I'll leave a link down below in the comments and go and pick up your copy today. If we put a circle around that number 2 on the triangle now, where it says mindset, okay? Cool. And I want you to think about this. As we start to think about the winning mindset, there's a reason why top students, okay, do better than students who are capable, but don't quite get the results that they're capable of getting. And that's just how they think about it. So if you think about this, who does an athlete see themselves as, right? They see themselves as this identity of someone who trains hard every day. And you think about a boxer preparing for a world championship fight, right? They eat foods that perhaps don't taste particularly good. They train hard, harder than everybody else, even though it hurts. And why do they do it? It's a must.
So they can improve, so they can get better.
They know that that's the route to success, right? So they do it anyway, even when they don't want to. So most students, and Jimmy in particular, is definitely capable, but there's some things he's not doing that he simply needs to do that is going to separate him from becoming that student's capable of the 1500, or the student that just misses out. And quite often it's how he thinks. So what I want to do here is really help Jimmy build a winning mindset so that he's able to study that little bit harder when we give him the right strategies around it, and just stay focused for longer so that he can do it in intense bursts, not this drawn out evening of study that you were mentioning. So he can come in, get done what he needs to do and stay focused. So that when he enters the exam room as well, he's got a mind of steel, doesn't forget anything because he's in the right mindset. Can control his anxiety. And a lot of students fail with that as well, because they suffer with test anxiety. And that might have been a reason for Jimmy why he didn't finish his past paper too. How important do you think, Mr. Smith, building this winning mindset is for Jimmy?
Oh, I think it'd be a game changer for him. You know, he has a lot of self-doubt, especially when it comes to taking this, his maths and taking his test. So we can help him overcome that. But yeah, I think it's going to really set him up for
Great.
the future.
That's exactly what we're going to do. Now, do you want me to tell you how we're going to build this winning mindset?
Yeah, please. I'd love to know.
Great. So put a circle around number 3 on the triangle, environment.
Okay. Yeah.
So the key to help Jimmy build this winning mindset is to place him in a winning environment. Now at school, Jimmy's with a lot of students there, Mr. Smith, that don't actually want to be there. Okay. But what's great about you and Jimmy is you booked in this call today because you are committed to change, aren't you?
Yes. I will do whatever it takes.
Cool. So the key here then is to place Jimmy in an environment with other students are going to actually challenge, okay, that are going to push him, that are going to foster his learning instead of affect him and pull him away. Because if Jimmy can see other students, Mr. Smith, who've gone from feeling overwhelmed, struggling, nervous, to now all of a sudden they're loving it because it becomes easier. If Jimmy sees other students like him who are just like him, just as motivated, would that rub off on Jimmy, do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think it wouldn't hurt.
Cool. And it's kind of like this too. Imagine climbing up a mountain. Imagine you and I were about to go on Mount Everest, going on a hike up Mount Everest. And we could go our separate ways. We both want to get to the top of the same mountain. You could go on your own and I could go on my own. Or we could go together in a small tribe, support each other, have each other's back, and push one another when we needed that push. Where would we be more successful, Mr. Smith, on our own or together?
I definitely think working as a team is going to be the best way to the top.
Cool. You got it. So this is why when we work with our students, we facilitate our learning in small groups and then some one-on-ones as well, okay, where needed. And that way we have the best of both worlds, okay, so that we can actually build that winning environment. So these, what we've been through, are really the 3 keys that I think are going to help, and I'm confident are going to help Jimmy get that 1500 SAT score. But what's most important is how you feel about what we've just been through.
Yeah, I think, like you say, you've worked with a lot of students. I've seen some good stuff from you. It sounds good. Like everything we've talked about.
Well, what we can do from here, I can talk to you about what would kind of happen when Jimmy comes in and we start working together, if you'd like me to, and how we kind of deliver it all. And if you'd like me to, I can do that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Great. So on your sheet of paper, if you write down the SAT success program. So what we'll do, Jimmy will come and work with me inside of my SAT success program for the next 12 weeks. Okay. Now inside of there, he's going to get access to my full SAT curriculum. Okay. So you want to write that down. This has got everything around the strategy side of things that Jimmy needs to know to prepare for his exams. Okay. The next thing we've got is he's going to have 2 group sessions with me and a small group of students every single week for the next 12 weeks. Okay. So in those sessions, we're going to be going through the material that Jimmy's learning to make sure that we can patch up any gaps and make sure he masters the content. Okay.
Right.
What I'm also going to do to make sure Jimmy has this winning environment is he's going to come into our student mastermind group. Okay. Now inside of there, we have a group of students who are just like Jimmy, who are all committed to getting those 1,500 SAT scores so they can push each other, okay, and support one another. Okay, so anytime that Jimmy wants some help, he doesn't just have me, he's got his team of other students who've got his back as well. And we've got a couple of our advanced teachers in there too as well. So Jimmy, anytime he needs help, he can post in this group and he's going to get the support he needs. Okay. And then what we'll also do is we're going to schedule a few one-on-one sessions too, particularly in the next 2 weeks. We're going to book one in just a second. That way we can go through our baseline test with Jimmy, establish where he's at. Okay. And then we'll schedule another one-on-one session from there in about 6 weeks time. And then another one and another 6, like as we're approaching that 12-week period to make sure he's made the progress that he needs to. Okay. And we can make sure we consolidate everything he's learned and get you some solid feedback as well. Are you with me?
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. And then really the last thing that we've got as well, and this is pretty awesome, our students love it, is we actually have a office hour session every single week where if Jimmy needs help with and support with any of his work that he's doing at school, not just what we teach him, he can drop in anytime he wants, once a week. And we have that for our students as well. Okay. So he'll have access to it.
Perfect. Sounds good.
How do you feel about all of that? Is that going to help?
Yeah, I mean, it seems fairly comprehensive. Seems like you've got a lot of support there.
Great. Well, really, all that's left, Mr. Smith, from here, you're 100% happy with everything we've been through. There's something you're not kind of unsure about. You feel it's something that is definitely going to help Jimmy get that 1,500 SAT score. Would you say?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is fantastic. It's one of the best thing I've seen, really, in terms of helping Jimmy.
Cool. So all that's really left from here, I can run you through how we can get started. We can talk about the investment, everything like that. And then once we process that, simply what I do is I set Jimmy some homework and we'll book in our one-on-one call. And I'm going to get him onboarded straight into all of our training curriculum, make sure you've got everything you need to hit the ground running. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Would that be a good idea?
Yeah. What's the next steps then?
Cool. Yes, I'll just run you through investment now, if that's okay then.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Great. So investment to move forwards is just 3,000 USD. Okay. And if you take care of it up front today, it's actually just 2,500 if you're able to take care of it all up front. Okay. Now that's so that we can, one, create this baseline plan for Jimmy so that we can stop him feeling overwhelmed and we can actually cement where he needs to focus on. Okay, so that we can help him master his study skills so he's not studying into the early hours of the morning. It's going to be fresher and it's going to help you as a family. But really, Mr. Smith, to make sure that Jimmy's got a pathway to, get to Columbia where he's wanting to go.
Sure. Okay.
So what makes most sense for you? Do you want to pay it all up front or is it better to split it up and pay installments? What's going to be better?
Yeah, we'll take care of it up front, I guess. My card.
Sweet. I'm just going to get you the link in the chat and I'll share my screen with you and you'll be able to have a quick look. So once you process investment, we'll go through here. We'll get you set up with the channel. We'll get you booked in for that one-on-one call and we'll get you into the training. Okay. So let me just get you the link. There we go. So I'm just going to post the link inside the chat now. Just take care of that. And then when you're done, just share your screen with me and we'll go through that page. Okay.
All right. Perfect.
All right. Sweet. We'll stop it there, guys. So obviously it was pretty long and drawn out. I mean, you can definitely do it quicker. However, I think it was pretty solid. Like I'm obviously going to be biased, but I was being conscious of everything to tick it off. And I'm sure it could be better. But I know if you presented something like that to a parent with like the temp checks and getting their buy-in, I think they're going to be pretty well sold. Obviously, as long as you've done a decent discovery. I was kind of making up, obviously, what I heard from Mr. Smith, but that's kind of the process. If you guys get good at that and nail that, I would have probably shared my screen actually on Fort of say, hey, once we process investment, I would have showed them the checkout page confirmation first rather than at the end to build certainty. And I might not have said, hey, do you want to split it or pay it in full? I might have just said, how do you want to take care of the investment? Rob, any thoughts that you thought?
Yeah, I think on that, just on that note, I think the investment drop was pretty good. Like the way, because you've given the higher number first, it's like 3K, but actually, if you want to take care of it up front, it's 2,500. That can work. I think there's different ways to do it. I think as well, what we did was really good. Obviously, it was an imaginary discovery, but at each of the pillars, there was, remember how you said this about Jimmy? This is why we do this, which I think is kind of key in making sure that's the tailored plan.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's wrap up. So hope that was useful for everyone. Thanks for checking out the video, but let me ask you this. How would you like me and my team to help you build out your own sales framework so you can scale your own student base, sell more group tutoring packages online, and scale your business to 6 figures or more as an online tutor? If you'd like our help, then all you need to do is get started by clicking the link somewhere around this video down below. You're about to fill out an application and schedule in a call with us to get started. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you in the next one.